recording.
Yes, all right. I've just had this business is big. It's again, that's the CIA again, warning me that you're recording me.
Dear friends, hello. Today, my friend is business guru. He's calling himself business guru. He makes everybody happy. He's the author of the 3 books, but after I knew that he's the author of the 3 books, he wrote 3 more books. And now he will tell about that. His name is Geoff Burch. And I'm happy to see this handsome man with us. Good evening, good morning.
Hello.
Dear Geoff, can you introduce yourself and tell us what are the books that you wrote and that you make that many people happy and help them to sell everything?
Yeah, I don't really make people happy. I make people angry. I have lynch mobs. If you ever saw the old Frankenstein movie where he gets trapped at the top of a windmill on fire, that's how I spend most of my life, being chased by my audiences because I tell them horrible truths. And I've realized that if you hide it and make them laugh, you can get a head start before they catch me.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I've got 6 books, and
okay, the first book is The Art of Business Persuasion.
Yeah, that's Resistance is Useless. That one is called
Resistance
The Art of Business Persuasion. The Way of the Dog. The Way of the Dog. What else have we got? Oh, Writing on the Wall. Irresistible Persuasion, Go It Alone, and Self-Made Me. We have.
Wow, that is amazing. Yeah. One book is better than the other. So I want to start from the Self-Made Me. Yeah. I know that in your TED Talks, you were telling that you were kicked out from the school, that you were naughty, disruptive, that for you was very difficult to study, but definitely you're curious and charming. So how you made yourself after being kicked out from school?
Well, if you get kicked out of school and they tell you that you're a disruptive influence, where do you go? Drugs, maybe, living in the street, maybe, alcohol, sleeping in a box.
Yes.
Unless you have no pride and you have no morals, and then you can go into sales.
Yes, you can go into sales. That is really very funny.
So I went. That's what I love selling, and then I it's the core of business success. I speak to these people with big businesses, of course, but I speak to people with little businesses that have these wonderful skills. They make maybe beautiful cakes, or they make wonderful shoes, or they make things, and they have all got a garage full of beautiful shoes because they don't know how to go and sell them. Everybody dreams of having their own business, but everybody doesn't want to be a salesperson. And the fact is, you have to be. You have to be. You have it. I don't know if you have the same where you are, but we have people in the street here who sit with maybe a dog with a piece of string, and they sit on a pile of old blankets and they say, "Spare any change, please. Can you give me any change?" You know? These people, and people give them money. They're not selling anything. They're just asking for money. Yes. So imagine how marvelous it could be if you actually had something you could give people back for the money you asked them for. The problem is all these lovely little businesses forget to ask for the business.
So you mean that we should be, because our audience are from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, from Moscow, from London, Monaco, yes. India, Indonesia. These are the people who are the owners of small businesses, medium businesses, and they need to sell. So you mean that you shouldn't be shy. You should say that we are selling this, because, you know, let's say I'm from Russia. We are very shy to say that we want to sell something.
I know. I did a job in Ekaterinburg, which was such a good job, and it was so much fun, and it was a big business conference, and there was university students there, and I think Mr. Medvedev was there as well, and they all came. And again, I realized this cultural thing about being a bit shy about asking people to buy things, but you don't have to be kind of crazy. What I say, I do a story here. about this real simple guy who just works in a shop where they have plants and trees, and his mother walks in, okay? And I say to these people, what would you say to your mother? Go on, what do you say? Your mother's walked in, what do you say? And you go, well, hello, Mum. You go, that's a good start. Yeah. And then what would you say to your mother?
Mama, I'm selling that.
Yeah, and you'd say, well, what are you doing here? And your mother says, I want 500 growing lamps. And you go, whoa, what do you want them for? This is a perfect sale. What do you want them for? Your dad and I want to grow marijuana in the shed, you know. And you go, hey, Mum, if you want to grow marijuana, you don't just want the lamps, you want the hydroponics, you need the fertilizer, you need the pumps, you need, and I go, ho. You're selling your mother this great load of stuff. Why are you doing that? Well, because that's what she needs. My mum needs success with her marijuana crop, and I'm selling her all the bits she needs. And then I say, well, why can't you do that to your customers? You know, if you're talking to your, everybody says, I don't want to be a salesman because it's robbing people. It's selling things to people they don't want. And I say, well, as long as you treat your customers the same way that you would treat your mother, you can't go wrong. You really can't go, you know, and again, you would ask your mum questions about why she want, you know, your mother says, maybe I want an aeroplane, Olga. And you go, well, what do you want that for, Mum? And she says, well, I want to visit your uncle in Minsk. And then I want to, and you go, well, you need a jet. If you want to get there, you need a jet. You don't want just a little plane, you know, and you say, well, why are you doing this to your poor mother? And you say, well, because that's what she needs. I know that's what she needs. And that's all I'm saying is treat your customers as if your mother was on the end of the phone. That's the first step.
This is so smart at the end of the days, because you are not robbing anybody. You are even not sitting with the dog on the piles of blanket in the street that you were mentioning. You're just telling what you're doing and what you think this person needs. Yes. So just not to be shy to tell that, because really
ask them too.
We cannot do it. We feel very shy. Yeah, it's a cultural thing. For women, it's even more. Women even don't want to use the word money. Can you imagine that? No, really, they want to, they try to escape the word money, because you were also saying that in TED Talk. You said, okay, you talk about relationship, you talk about very important person relationship, but you even don't use the word money.
No, but I mean, it's no. And that is actually very true, that there's little secret things that I know, and there's certain, you can change words. So I have an American friend who has made many millions of pounds by selling things to people. And I said to him, you've made all of this money from selling things. And he said, no. I never sell anything to anybody. And I said, don't be stupid. You've got a jet. You've got a holiday home in the Bahamas. You sell. He said, no, I don't. I said, well, what do you do? He says, I help people. He said, I help people towards happy decisions. And it's the same. You say to people, what can I do to help you? No, you don't want to sell them anything. And when they say, this is expensive, you say, I agree, this is a prestige item, but don't you agree, you'll feel so much happier if you invest. Nobody spends, they invest. Nobody buys, they choose. You know, you don't say to somebody, would you like to buy one of my cakes? You say to them, would you like to choose a cake? And then you bring the card machine then. You don't sell the
choose invest. You don't say how much you want to spend money, so I will go.
How much would you like to invest?
Going to buy my holiday house in Bahama. Pay me a lot and I will buy this holiday house. No, you should tell them.
Choose one. Yes, I'd say, Olga, come and choose a lovely house. Come and choose one. And you'd say, I can't afford it, Geoff. And I'd say, forget the money. Just forget the money. Let's just get you the right house to start with. and then I'll help you to sort the money out afterwards.
But do you think, Geoff, is it ethical to do it, or it's a kind of tricky thing that you try to?
Well, if you wouldn't do it to your mother, then don't do it to your customers. If you love your mummy, then you love your customers. If your mother says that she's making a bad decision, you tell her she's making a bad decision. If you think she should have invested more money to get a better, I bet you come to your mother's and you said, "Oh my God, where did you get those shoes?" And she said, "Oh, I got them." You said, "Oh, mum, just spend a few dollars more, and you would have had a handmade pair. Or next time you buy shoes, let me help you." You're not selling to your mum, and you don't. Your customers. Your customers are very important.
So you mean that there is nothing bad in that? You're doing your job the best, and this is a good thing, and we should do it in a nice way. The job of Hidden Hero, my main job, I'm director and producer of the movies. And I did 25 films. One of them was in the Cannes Film Festival, the winner of the Moscow Film Festival. Now we do a lot of movies for the businesses.
Yeah.
We tell them that we can also do for the business. So the business can promote itself on Instagram, Facebook, but also I cannot sell. Only when they know and they ask me, "Olga, you do such great movies.
But you're selling,
because I'm film director. How can I tell them? How can I tell you I will do a movie for you? It will be, I feel awkward."
Yeah, but the thing is that you're selling without knowing you're selling. That's the point. I mean, if I always say we have a thing here. It's called high pressure selling, where people sell things to people they really shouldn't be buying. They come on your front door and they knock on the door and they sell you rubbish. They say they've come out of prison, they're trying to rebuild their life, and they sell you just rubbish for too much money. And we call that high pressure selling. So what I say is that you have to have a balance. You have to have a relationship with the customer, and you have to take care of your interests. Now, if the customer says, "Look, this beautiful film that I want you to make, I can't really afford it. I haven't got enough money." And you say to them, "Don't worry, I'll work for nothing." They will love you, but you will starve to death. But if you say, like, give me $100,000, and they give you the money and you run away with it, you've taken care of your interests and you've done nothing you've damaged the relationship.
Yes.
So all the time you have to balance. You say, "I will make you a fantastic movie. I believe this movie will promote your business. I wouldn't be surprised if you've got a 30% increase in business. Let me make the movie. You'll love it." And then you take a very generous fee for yourself for making it, and you can sleep at night knowing that you're earning a good living and you're making wonderful business movies. There's no problem. If you can sleep and if your mother asked you to make a business movie, you'd make a wonderful one for
her. You see, what I like about what you're saying, you release the tension from these words. Like money, selling, and you make it nice. I like what you said. If you can sleep with that and you feel comfortable, you know that you're doing a good thing. As you say, for your mom or for your customer, you're doing something that is good for them. It will help them. And also it's good for you, because you should take care of yourself, or you starve to death and will be sitting these beggars on the streets,
And you're a professional. And if the customer pushes you and says, "I can't afford it, I can't do this, I have only $100," and I think you will end up doing a bad job for them because you haven't got enough money to do a good job. We have a saying here. It says it only hurts once when you buy quality. And when you've bought that beautiful handmade pair of shoes that are made of soft kid skin, and every day you put them on and you think, "Oh, I love these. I absolutely love these." and then you've got those stinky trainers that you bought from the supermarket. You know, which gave you the best joy and the best value?
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely the first one, it goes without saying. Tell me, please, this thing. Your first book was very, very popular. But this is how you start. Got It Alone, the streetwise.
Oh, no, Go It Alone. That is about being self-employed. The very first book was Resistance is Useless, which is that one. That is 30 years old now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's all about business persuasion, and it was all my kind of sales ideas all squished into a book, and I never meant to write it. I you know, it was a great big accident, you know.
Really. Geoff, you know, I want to thank you very much for your precious ideas today. And my last question to you is, how you manage to be that different from all other speakers? You have your own charisma and your own way, which is definitely, I don't know, it's combination of deep knowledge and comedian and being in love with yourself. You know, how you're using your character.
Well, there's a few things. One is I have a very powerful woman behind me. They say behind every successful man is a very surprised woman. And Mrs. Burch looks after me and makes sure I'm clean and that I don't do anything dreadful. But I think it's...
How many years you stay with this woman, if I may ask?
48.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a wonderful story behind how we met, but we haven't got time for that now. The other thing is that being different, I was always different. I did really get expelled from school, but being different allows, and every business should do this, should allow their rebel, the person that speaks against, the people that sees the bad ideas, you should listen at least once a year to that person. You know, the person that sees things differently. That's I do see things differently. So like people, oh yeah, I never thought of it, or oh my goodness, are we doing that? So my popularity comes from being able to take this different view. There's a product in England called Marmite, which is a spread we put on toast. And some people think it is the most filthy, horrible taste in the world. And some people love it. And somebody said, I'm a Marmite speaker. You know, so some people love it. Some people find it undermines what they believe, you know. So it's a challenge all the time, you know, and I love doing it too. And I love.
Is it something English that you are using? Because your sense of humor is very particular. Do you think it's something English with this? Because you know, English people, they have this unique things which not everybody can feel, but it's a unique. I love this humor very much.
No.
I'm small.
It's very black. It's dark. And when I spoke in Russia, we worked with an interpreter. And I had to give him a whole 2-hour lesson in English humor. I went through all the jokes in my presentation, and he said that won't work in Russia because, and then we changed every once to make the audience laugh. But we had to not only get it interpreted into Russian, but we also had to get the jokes interpreted so people understood, because some of them, you know, are pretty weird. You know, they're pretty English. But I think a lot of English people find me quite difficult as well, because well, some people,
it's not
some
difficult.
people think some people think
you are very
some people think business should not be laughed at, you know. So
no,
but
I think it's very different. You are very alive. You're like a boy, you know, and that is so charming because, you know, normally in business, we lost this ability to laugh at ourselves, to tell sincere things, because at the end of the day, it's what you're saying, Geoff. You're just saying, don't be afraid to sell. And it sounds like revolution. For us, these words, you say, oh my God, what is he saying? How we can ask to sell?
A final thought is that in England, everybody wants to start their own business. Everybody wants to be self-employed. Everybody wants to do that. In the first year, 9 out of 10 fail. 9 out of 10 fail. So and then a similar survey said, if they have the right advice, 9 out of 10 succeed. And you do need this brutal honesty. And I have to do it as humor, because if I say to somebody, you have a stupid business idea, you will starve to death and you will have to sell your children, they get quite upset, you know? So if I can do a funny story about this guy who has to sell his children and they laugh, but they remember, you know? And that's, you have to sugar the medicine.
This is so kind of you, because you don't kill them with the knife. You try to put it in a nice pinky way, but that is very human from you, and you do it with big heart. I really liked talking to you. You are so kind. Even you look like you are very cruel and you look like very naughty, but in fact you are very kind. And you should say thank you to this CID, CIF, whatever, that they allow us to have a talk. So tell your general that we talked nicely. We didn't touch politics. We didn't touch nobody. No Putin, no Obama, nobody. Nobody was.
No. I let my wife do all that. I just do as I'm told. That's the politics here does not go outside the front door. I just behave myself.
Wonderful. Best regards to your wife and good luck to you. I'm very happy to know